This video will begin doing proofs for geometry. You'll notice here I have two proofs, and I have the proof written out each time. The reason for that is so you can see if it's what you need. For beginning proofs, when you're working through them, I would suggest doing all of these several times. It's like learning a language. You have to know the words, you have to be able to put them into sentences, and then write paragraphs from there. We're going to go through this, and then I will erase it, and we'll go through the thought process again. First, this is how proofs are done. ABCD is a rectangle. All angles are right angles. ABCD is a rectangle given. Angle A is a right angle. Properties of a rectangle. Angle C is a right angle. Properties of a rectangle. Therefore, angle A is congruent to angle C. Reason, if two angles are right angles, then they are congruent. Later on in the class, you might be able to say all right angles are congruent. For now, ask your teacher. Generally, they want if, then. So now we're going to take the proof away and do it again. Always draw out the diagram, run through the thought process 2 or 3 times on the diagram, then write it out again. When you're working on your own, definitely write it out, but for every time you write it out, I would go through the thought process on your diagram 2 or 3 times, because in the time that it takes to write the entire proof, you can do this 5 times. For instance, ABC is rectangle, all angles are right angles. So angle A is a right angle, properties of a rectangle. Angle C is a right angle, properties of a rectangle. Angle A is congruent to angle C. If two angles are right angles, then they are congruent. Let's do it one more time. ABCD is a rectangle. All angles are right angles. Next thought. Angle A is a right angle, properties of a rectangle. Angle C is a right angle, properties of a rectangle. Angle A is congruent to angle C. If two angles are right angles, then they are congruent. Make sure you understand what I mean on this. You should write out the proof a few times, but what I would do is write out the proof, then run through it a bunch of times in your head, then write it out again. Now we're going to go to the second proof. We'll write in red. This is going to be much the same. This will involve straight angles, so make sure you understand this thought process here. Diagram as shown, given. Angle EIH is a straight angle. Angle EIH is a straight angle. Assume from diagram. You don't need anything fancier than that. Just assume from diagram. Angle FIG is a straight angle. FIG, assume from diagram. Angle EIH is congruent to angle FIG. If two angles are straight angles, then they are congruent, which you'll notice is a lot like if two angles are right angles, then they are congruent. Same thought process. So once again, we're going to erase the proof, run through the thought process several times, then write it out. Given, diagram as shown. Write this diagram out on your paper. Angle EIH is a straight angle, assume from diagram. Angle FIG is a straight angle, assume from diagram. Angle EIH is congruent to angle FIG, because if two angles are straight angles, then they are congruent. One more time. Diagram as shown, given. Angle EIH is a straight angle, assume from diagram. Angle FIG is also a straight angle, assume from diagram. Angle EIH is congruent to angle FIG. If two angles are straight angles, then they are congruent. Again, what I would do, run through the thought process on your own 2 or 3 times, then write it out again. I am not saying don't write it out ever. I'm saying to write it out, it takes a very long time. So you should run through the thought process several times on the diagram, then write it out again.